And I'm going to go back to where I actually made the assignment. You can here are the settings. So let's click on edit. The name instructions. If I want to upload the file, which we're going to do, for example, the unit assignment, you're going to want to upload, let's say, the unit assignment documents, the rubric, and any instructions. You can put due dates. Now, really key here, students still can submit, but it's going to be marked late after the deadline. This is where you actually put in the rubric, the scores. Here is where you select to create a rubric or select the rubric that's already available. The e-learning unit is going to try to send you guys the rubric digitally so you can actually have it built in. We're working on that as we speak right now. But here you can delete the rubric, you can view the rubric, you can edit the rubric. All right. Here you can select use it for grading, and here you have the option to allow students to view the rubric with scores or after grading, or they don't get to see the rubric at all. And under submission details here, you can allow multiple attempts or unlimited attempts with your students. Here you have the option of allowing students to use safe assign, which is for plagiarism. All right. Right here to check for submissions. We wouldn't recommend that because we know that multiple papers might look the same for whatever reason. So we don't recommend using that right now. Grading options. You can enable anonymous grading where you don't get to see the student's name. You just correct the paper without actually having acknowledged the student's name. Or you can enable it delegated grading where you give certain people groups to correct the papers. Display grades. Here you can display the grades as a score, as a percentage, and so on. Including grade center calculations and show to students in my grades. And you can show the average and statistics for students. That's up to you what you want to use. But when you do writing assignment portfolio, you want to select include in grade center grading calculations. But if you're going to create quizzes and assignments and surveys, you don't want to include it in the grade center. And we'll tell you why shortly. Again, here you have the option to make the assignment available or not, and you can put strict deadlines. And then here you have the option to track the number of views for the students. All right. So I'm going to click cancel here. All right, and then here below into the grade book, for example, if you go to full grade center, and let's look at assignments. So come here. Now you have the option here. You get to see the student scores, demo writing, portfolio 1, portfolio 2. Remember, the testing unit requires us to send them a spreadsheet with the scores for the writing portfolio. We don't have to do that. Now we can actually download the entire spreadsheet with their scores, their usernames already available, their names, and it's really cool. All we have to do is click here on the right side and select download. And then click submit, and then click download. And a spreadsheet is going to show up here. Let's give it a minute. So here you go. You get the student score if they're working on progress, and this is stuff that you can email or show the students, show the testing unit later on. Again, since I've been doing some demo options, but normally you'll have writing portfolio assignment 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the scores based out of 40 is all there and set up. All right. So, and then you can email this spreadsheet directly to the testing unit, or if they require it. Let's go back to Grade Center assignments. Normally you'll have options here where it will tell you if the student did the work or not. You'll get a flag. You can actually add more columns. You can actually manage by looking at reports here. You can view the grade history with more details. You can look at submission receipts to see if the student actually did it or if he sent it or not, and so on. Again, this is just a quick overview what's available and how it will apply to us. We'll have a short video tutorial specifically for each of these components shortly, inshallah. All right. Same thing as well as for tests. Now you can add more columns here, or you can add, but we don't recommend using test scores since we already have tests through MKCL and the testing unit. But you do have options of creating quizzes and tests and looking at their scores. All right. And then if you click on Needs Gradings, you'll be able to also see, they'll give you a little flag to see if the student didn't do the work or not. Since we already clicked on the student's name yesterday and the day before, but normally you'll be able to see the student's name and to see if they actually did the work or not. And it can also send them a reminder that, hey, don't forget, you need to go ahead and click on the students. And then you have the option of emailing the students directly. All right, by clicking this option here. So that's briefly about assignments. So we'll go back to our class. Just really quick, we'll show you how to create an assignment. So you go to your folder, click on assessment, click on assignment. So here, let's say we call that writing portfolio assignment number 3. You type in instructions, which is already from the testing unit. All right, here you can upload the unit assignment. It could be the unit assignment, it could be the pacing schedule, the rubric, and so on. And then you enter the due dates. All right, so let's say, for example, we'll allow it for here, and the due date will be a week from now. All right, points. So we know the assignment is based out of 40, so we select 40. And now we want to select the rubric. So since we already created the rubric, we'll select from there. But if you want to create a new one, just to show you how, you type in the rubric name here, and they already have a template rubric set up here. So template, type in the description. You can select here percent or points. All right. You can add rows and you can add columns. You can rename and you can delete and edit. So for example, we don't use, we have up to 5 points. So for example, here I will delete this column, and here I would edit and call it a score. And click save. Here's the formatting. You can rename according to our setup. So the first one was topic relatedness. And click save. It's worth 5 points. You can put in description here if you like, for each component. Now you can add more columns. So add a row, which is, let's say, spelling, and so on. Just show you the ideas. Now here we have the option of selecting the score, or we can use a range. So like here, for example, we have a point range, where it could be for topic relatedness is from 0 to, I believe it was 3. So not every component is out of 5. So that's a nice way. You can use the point range, or you can use the points or percentages. Again, we're going to try to send you the rubric and see if we can actually have it set up in your class without actually having to go through this step-by-step process. But let's say, for example, if you do, and then you just click on submit. But since we already have a rubric, I'm going to select it, English 101 rubric, and then click up here and click submit. And the rubric is built in already. Here, I use the point range. All right, here are all the components, and then click submit. So click OK to assign the maximum points, which we did, which is 40. All right, we have the option here to show the settings. So for example here, yes, with rubric scores. Submission details, Again, we can do individual or group submission. We can select attempts. So for example, here we're going to use single attempt. We can check here for plagiarism tools. Grading options, we want to, you have the option for anonymous grading if you like. Display grades. So here we're going to make sure we do primary score, and we include in grade center grading calculations. All right, and show the students in my grades. That's up to you if you want to show that to your students right away. You can have the option to make it available by selecting availability here, or you can limit with time and restrictions, as well as over here where you can track number of views. Okay, so we'll do that, and then click submit. And there you go. As you see, writing portfolio assignment. So let's look at it from a student perspective. All right. They click here. It was under Unit 5. And there you go. Writing portfolio assignment. They click on here, and they get to view the rubric. They can type in their, again, the text submission, or they can upload the Word document from here. They can put any comments that they want, and then they click submit, or they can save the draft. Right? And then click out here. From a from a teacher perspective, click on needs grading. You can see if they passed the deadline. See, right now we don't see any because there's no new assignment that's been sent since. So, but let's go back into assignments here. Again, and now if you noticed, writing portfolio 3. Can you see it? It's at this column right here. So it automatically uploads it into the spreadsheet. So when you're done, you can just save this work offline, download it, and then you can send it to the testing unit. As well as you can look at reports, select what you want, and how you can manage different fields. Again, we'll have a more detailed tutorial specific for this. All right. Just the last part, since time is really short, we'll go back to the course.